Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode 10, which is also the season finale, you guys. And what a season finale it was. We'll talk about how great this episode was at the end of this review. But yes, brava. Boy, I tell you. Raising Kanan is a slow burn, okay? It is a very slow burn, but what I can say is they always deliver in the end. And isn't that what only matters? Okay, so I am pleasantly pleased with the episode, you guys. But anyway, we'll talk about that at the end. With no more further ado, let's get to the review, shall we? I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Power Book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with Lou passed out at the rehab. I told you guys last week that I did not think that Rock and Marvin was going to kill Lou, and they didn't. They took him back to the rehab facility that he had left, okay? And, Lou had to be fucked up to actually wake up, and he's sitting in the middle of a session. Well, he probably was awake, but he definitely was still kind of, hungover from all of his antics. Rock was like, we brought him here so you guys can help him, okay? If he gonna be leaving and everything, then what I'm paying you guys for? And the doctor was like, look, we not magicians. Lou has to want to do it. We gonna do our part, but Lou has to do his part too. And you guys know that Lou hasn't wanted to do anything this whole season. She was like, well, then I didn't spend too much fucking money because y'all are not cheap, okay? And I'm spending a whole lot to get this boy some help. So Lou chimes in finally, and he was just like, look, Rock, you have no idea what all I'm feeling and what all I'm going through, okay? And you're not going to be able to get to how I'm feeling until you accept your part in what you did. Like, everything that you've done. And she was like, oh, God, here we go with the feelings, okay? And I laughed as soon as she said that. I was like, you know what? Me and Rock might be very similar in a lot of ways, child. Because every time, if I get into it with the kids or Mr. anything, they always be super emotional and they be a lot and it be a whole bunch of stuff. And I just be thinking to myself, like, here y'all go with these fucking feelings. Everybody got a damn feeling, okay? That shit made me laugh. But anyway, the doctor was just like, oh, you don't have feelings? And she was like, yeah, I got feelings, all right, but I ain't got time to sit around and mope on them all the time like all these damn men that are around me. The doctor was just like, oh, he turns his attention to Rock, and Rock was like, why is it that you concentrating on me? I thought we was here to try to help Lou, not to sit here and try to figure out how I'm the one that's at fault in all of this. Lou the one with the problem, not me. And the doctor was like, yeah, Lou is the one with the problem, but Lou has the problem because of you. Okay, do you know that you are the most important person to Lou? Lou wanted you here. And she was just like, Lou is the most important person to me too. And I was just like, oh, here we are. We breaking it down, okay? And Rock, very matter of fact, in her very Rock-like way, was just like, listen, I love my brother, okay? I was there when he was first born. I held him in my hands, my arms. I was just like, Roxanne, you gonna get a tear? We never get this Rock. This was, Rock is always gonna be raw. But Rock don't always express her feelings, but she let it out on the line, and and it was like so much that Lou was just looking at her. And so yeah, the tear did form. It didn't fall, but it tried. Anyway, afterwards, when they're walking to the car, and Rock is leaving, Rock tells him, like, Lou, you mean the world to both me and Marvin, and we love you a whole lot. We want you to get better. And then she apologizes to him for everything that she's done, the way that she's treated him so fucked up, that she's been a fucked up person, just everything. And I was just like, oh, Rock, I'm so proud of you, girl. You're doing the work. But she was just like, I was just mad at the idea of losing you. Maybe it was just the pain inside me, the way that I was reacting. And she knows that she was wrong. And Lou really, really appreciates that. But he also says, you know what, I love you for that, but I also got to just finally accept my part of what I did. I am a grown ass man, like I told you guys a few episodes ago. Okay, Rock, even though Rock is tough, I mean, at the end of the day, you gonna do what you gonna do, right? So you can blame Rock to an extent, but you did your part as well. So he says that he can't do this anymore. He's got to learn how to live with himself and all of the things that he did. I was like, that must be terrible to try to live with the things when you was like good for the streets and just killing people. So yeah, that whole scene when they was up at the hospital, you guys, I think it's because as I get older, it's like now family is the most important. And I never thought that I would get to the way that I feel about my family now. Of course I love my family, but really now it's like family is the first thing. And at one time, it was like you working on your career, you working on your things that you do, my YouTube channel and my life. And, it was other things that was also very important to me. But now really it is always and everything is family. And Rock saying that to him, I think helped Lou immensely. So when Rock leaves there, she's out on the streets of New York, she's just trying to gather her wits about herself, and she's parked at a red light, I think, and there's some kids playing. She's just kind of looking around, checking out the scene and everything, and then a car pulls up on the side of her, and they real slow, and I was like, Rock, now I know you see this fucking car slow, okay? You out of practice. Because when they came slow and then they rolled the window down and they brought the gun out, she finally like hurried up and jumped into gear and pulled off and everything. And they shot at her, shot her window out and everything, but they missed. And I was like, boy, you gonna wish that you made that. Rock is gonna have to handle these niggas stat. Now we see Marvin. Marvin is at the grave site. He's visiting Gerald's daughter, I'm assuming. Just trying to have a peaceful time. And here come the damn police, harassing as usual. Actually, it's the FBI. And, he's just sort of like, damn, can a nigga just sit here and, grieve the little girl? Why you guys here? And you guys know how the FBI, the DEA, the police, anybody that's part of the legalities in New York, they all assholes on Power Universe. Okay, they either real stressed out, they mad, underpaid, overworked, all of that, okay? Or extra arrogant. These are the arrogant ones, all right? And they kind of just sort of like, oh, Marvin, we gonna make sure, we keeping our eye on you, and da-da-da-da, And he's just sort of like, psh. When Marvin leaves there, he goes and talks to his lawyer, and the lawyer's like, from what I can tell, they don't really have anything on you, okay? And Marvin was just like, well, everybody is kind of breathing down my back. Apparently, FBI been, watching me all this time. And so the lawyer was like, well, I'll shake some trees down there at NYPD and see what they talking about, and see what I can find out. And Marvin was like, yeah, let them know I'm not the one. Now, let's jump over to Kanan. So Kanan knocking the boots with the young girl. What's her name? Is it Crystal? Yeah, he with Crystal, they knocking boots. Okay, when they finish, she's talking about making it official. Okay, why can't we let everybody know what we doing? Okay, it looked like the group ain't even gonna work out anyway. Aisha ain't thinking about Kanan. Kanan ain't thinking about Aisha no more. So, like, why can't we make this? He was like, I'm not even trying to talk about that right now. Okay, he just want to smoke his blunt and let that be that. And then that's when Crystal lowered a boom on him, and she was just like, my period is late. And I was just like, oh. Here we go, you guys. The predictions that was made might be true. Okay? Even though you guys shot it down and was like, no. Remember, here the mama was such and such a blah and all of this and all of that. But I still feel like this girl is going to get pregnant, have the baby, and Kanan is going to name the baby Sean after Fame. I still do believe that, even though you guys, because it's already kind of shown that they're not 100% sticking to the history of the original Power. I can't tell you how that is, but I noticed something in the past I didn't forgot. All right. But so I do kind of feel like this still might be what the scenario is. Time will tell. But anyway, Kanan, when he hear that, he just sort of like, oh, God, here we go. Now, there's a knock at the door, okay? And who is that? All banging on the door like crazy. When Kanan goes to it, it's Fame. He was like, what the fuck you want? And Fame was like, damn, nigga, I was just coming by the house just to check and see how you was doing. Okay, and to let you know that your mama, somebody tried to shoot her and kill her out there on the streets, a drive-by. Okay, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Kanan?
He was like, that must be that motherfucker Ronnie.
And that Kanan is pissed. I was just like, what you gonna do, 16-year-old? And speaking of Aisha, we see her talking to Juke. And she's like, damn, it's been 2 weeks. Like, you ghosted me totally. I've been calling. I've been trying to reach out to you. You haven't been answering my calls or anything. And Juke was like, I'm sorry. So the girl was like, are you good? And Juke was like, yeah, they worried about my family. And Juke is like, I just cannot outrun my family. Anything that happens good to me, it is very short-lived because my family is so fucked up. And Juke is such a tragic story on this show, you guys. We wanted for Juke so bad. So bad. And we know how her story ends. And it just seems like even that middle part of her life nothing was good. So, you know, Juke is just like very embarrassed by her family. And Aisha was like, don't be embarrassed by your family. You know, I care about you. I care about your family. Like, Aisha's trying to just pretty much put it all on the line that she cares for Juke. Now, we've been seeing it the whole time. I think Juke has been too, but she's been trying to ignore it because, you know, being gay, especially back in the 90s, is not for the faint of heart, you know. So when Aisha kind of makes the move and kisses her, and Juke was just sort of like, this ain't what you want, okay? And Aisha's kind of feeling like, it is what I want. I know what I want, and, you know, and Juke was just like, all right, girl, I mean, if you say so. But Juke is still she already knows how it plays out in real life. They go to a diner, they sitting around and they're talking. Aisha, she finds out that Juke is going to be going to the army, so she tells Juke that she's going to wait for her, and Juke was like, no, you're not going to wait for me. I wouldn't even want you to wait for me. You know, that wouldn't even be fair. I mean, the girl is just starting out being gay, you know, trying to be on that whole page, and now you're trying to also wait for Juke to come back in 4 years. No. Okay, if you still feel gay when I get out in 4 years, maybe so. So just the fact that the girl is willing to do that for Juke, you know, that means a lot to Juke. And the fact that this girl really cares for Juke, I'm like, something gonna happen to her too. Now let's jump over to Creepy Daddy. Now Creepy Daddy is at the station with the union rep. Okay, he's sitting across from the captain and IA, okay? And so we about to have this exchange. And, you know, Creepy Daddy still can't believe that his homeboy is treating him this way. You know, the captain is just like, we're doing everything by the book, nigga. Sit down. So anyway, they sit down. You know, Creepy Daddy is still maintaining that he wasn't involved in any of the shits. There's no deeper, darker reason for anything, okay? And the captain was just like, well, you know what? Shannon Daddy went down there and talked to Nicole Daddy. And Nicole Daddy said that you told him to go and have them investigate Shannon. Yes, Captain, we already know that. You've already made that clear. And so, you know, they feel like he has something to do with the whole investigation about the drugs and Nicole's death and everything, that he's somehow tied into that. And, you know, of course, they also looking at Marvin. So, you know, Creepy Daddy is still denying it. And finally, IA was like, listen, I don't give a fuck about none of these people. None of you niggas down here. You can all blow up and I'd be happier, okay? But I still got to do my job. So listen here. I don't give a fuck about Shannon. I'm trying to find out about Marvin. And if you're connected to him, you're in trouble. And what do you know about Lewis, okay? And all of this. So he starts naming basically all of Rock's family. And Creepy Daddy is sitting there looking like, oh my God. You know, they going back and forth. And finally, the lawyer steps in, puts his foot down. I'm going to stop this interview right here. Okay? Unless you guys have anything else that you need to say, let's cut it. All right, because it's getting a little too far off the track. And so Captain was just like, nigga, I'm gonna need your gun and your badge. And he was just like, really, Captain? And he was just like, your gun and your shield right now. Okay, he gonna have that shit under lock and key. Right now, you can just consider yourself not a cop, because we don't know how you moving. You know, Creepy Daddy was just like, don't be too hasty. And Captain was just like, nigga, don't even worry about it, all right? You need to worry about your damn self. Oh, Creepy Daddy is worried. All right, he even go down to the mosque, child. We forgot that he has some religion, but we see him down there on his carpet, and he's praying. I said, yeah, you better ask Allah to help you through this one. Okay, so they told him that he had 2 days, and otherwise they was gonna arrest his ass. Okay, so you better make some moves, and we talking about real fast. Now, speaking of the police go and talk to Lou. I said, damn, Lou is at the rehab. The man can't even sit there and be in rehab without y'all harassing him. So, they investigated and everything. And Lou, to his credit, he was like, look, I've been drunk pretty much the last 6 months, so I don't really remember nothing. And he's not lying, even though he does remember the main points. So they was like, that's fair. Okay, so you look like they about to get up and leave. And then the guy was like, let me ask you a question, though. Who paying for this place? Because he don't know for any of them to have no damn job around here. And this place look real expensive. Lou was just like, oh, look like I ain't got no money to do this. No, you don't look like you got enough to do this. Can you provide a W-2? He was just like, look, being an addict is an expensive habit. However, I drink the cheap stuff. Okay, little tongue in cheek for them. All right. And so they get up and they leave and everything. And so once he finishes with them, he goes back and he's talking to the counselor. And Lou is just trying to come to terms on what he's done, where he's been. So he's talking to the counselor and he was just like, I really am just working hard to accept who I am. Like, this is me. I just wanted to say, Lou, even though you're not your past, so even if you decide not to do any of that shit anymore, that was some bad shit and you're going to have to answer to that. Okay, at one point in your life. But if we change the channel and move differently from here on, maybe you can get back some peace that you miss it. It's gonna be tough though, because the police is, while everybody is getting all this newfound eye-opening therapy, both Lou and Marvin and even Rock, you can see some changes in them. Rock getting back in the game is going to change everything next season, so it's going to be interesting to see where, now that Lou and Marvin look like they're trying to be a little bit more on the straight and narrow. Well, not necessarily Marvin. Marvin going to do what Rock is doing, but it's going to be like, now your past, you ain't gonna be able to outrun your past. So that's what we gonna see what's happening with them next. Anyway, when Lou leaves out of the counseling, he's walking down the hall back to his room and he goes to the utility closet and he grabs something. And I was like, what was that? Okay. Turns out he goes to his room and it was just something that had a cord. It might have been like a surge protector or something. But anyway, it had a long cord and that was something long enough to try to kill himself. I was like, Lou, listen, you cannot kill yourself. Lou, you cannot kill yourself. I really thought that they were going to do it because I was waiting on the big kill. It's always in the finale, somebody big dies, So I was waiting for it to be Lou. And he wrapped that thing around his neck and he was trying to do it. And then he just stopped because he knew he couldn't. And I was just like, oh my God, so relieved. This was such an emotional episode. I don't know if I'm conveying that well, but like every time Lou was on, they acted their asses off in this episode. Everybody, even that fucking Kanan, okay, even that boy did. They all did a monumental job. But again, we'll talk about it at the end. But yeah, so that was a touching scene. I was just like, Lou, you gonna be all right? Lou, you gonna be all right? Hang in there. And the good thing about hitting rock bottom, you guys, is what? There's nowhere else to go but up. This is the bottom for you, Lou. Okay, just. It's all about to get better for you. Okay, it's gonna be a little dicey and bumpy with the police and shit, but it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Now, jumping over to Rock. So Marvin goes and tells Rock that Ronnie is the person that was behind the drive-by, and she already had assumed that. Okay, it's no secret that Ronnie and Snaps and Pops and everybody got a problem with her possibly entering the game again. Now, Marvin tries to tell her that he knows for a fact that Kanan, well, he don't know for a fact, but he was like, Kanan wouldn't do nothing like that. She was like, I don't really know what Kanan would do. Okay, sometimes the people that you love the most is the ones that will hurt you the fastest, the quickest, the worst. But Rock's whole thing is that she can't come for Ronnie if Kanan is involved. Like, it's like she's not even gonna try to retaliate. And like I know that ain't how it's done in the drug world. She is just like, this shit all needs to stop, and she's not gonna be fighting and killing, and her son is involved. So, maybe we can just all sit down and talk as a family and get everybody back on the same page. It's gonna be real, real hard. Speaking of Snaps and Pops, they pissed that Ronnie missed. like Snap said, nigga, we don't pay you to miss. No, nigga, we don't pay you to miss. I love Wendell Pierce's voice. And Kanan come busting in like,
motherfucker, I didn't tell you to do nothing to my moms.
And Ronnie was like,
she came for us, so we came for them. Kanan was just like, not my mother.
And Ronnie was just like,
nigga, you don't tell me what to do.
Should have had my damn readers on. And Kanan look over at Snaps and Pops.
He's like, this nigga think that he calling the plays.
And Snaps and Pops was like, all right, enough of this shit. I'll see you later. And Snaps and Pops was like, all right, enough of this shit. Neither one of y'all gonna do nothing. And Kanan was just like, all right. He looked at Ronnie. He was just like, nigga, this ain't what you think it is. Okay? You better be ready. I said, what you gonna do, young lad? Oh, that Kanan get on my damn nerves, but I did kind of like some of the bravado today. Even though Kanan get on my nerves, I was like, please do something to Ronnie. Later on, Marvin comes and sees Snaps and Pops. And Marvin was just like, where Ronnie at? All right? And Snaps was just like,
contrary to popular belief, I am not my brother's keeper.
He don't know where the fuck Ronnie is. He about sick of Ronnie. He about sick of Kanan. Like, he didn't know that he was about to be in the middle of all of this. But Rock and Ronnie got shit to settle. And Snaps and Pops is just irritated and over the whole thing. Well, Pops, you know, by the time she get over lusting after Marvin, it cracks me up that Pops loves all the men and Snaps just accepts her for that. And side note, fun fact, one of you guys told me that those two are actually really married in real life. I was like, look at there. They actually are a cute little couple. Remind me, remember when Viola Davis used to have her husband on How to Get Away with Murder? Oh, you guys, How to Get Away with Murder. Those were the beautiful days, weren't they? So Marvin is just assuring them, like, look, shit ain't got to get crazy. We really trying to talk. Like, we just want to talk. You know, Kanan involved in everything. And Snaps was like, look, I always love diplomacy, but both of them hotheads and ain't nobody really trying to talk. Like, you know, you got a big problem on your hands. So they don't really think a talk is gonna make it better. But Marvin was just like, you know, he want to be able to talk to Ronnie and all of them. Like, we can try to get this squashed. So when Marvin leaves, Snaps and Pops is both over it. You know, they just sort of like dealing with these two. This shit is about to be a full-out war. But they Switzerland. And Snaps was like, yeah, we Switzerland for now until we not. All right, once you get dragged and pulled into that, nigga, you was part of the Middle East like everybody else. Now, let's jump over to Fame. So, Fame, you know, right when things is about to go well for him, you know, he get a call from the guy, the independent label owner. You know, he wants to meet Lou. We don't know where Lou is. Well, we know where Lou is, but Fame don't know where Lou is. But, you know, he trying to just put the man off. Like, you know, just give me a couple of days. I'm going to get him too. You know, we going to come to you, blop-de-blop-de-blue. Soon as he hang up that phone, then the police bust in. I say, oh, Fame, that murder done caught up with you, right? So they say that they gonna arrest him, you know, for the murder of such and such and such. And Fame was like, that's bullshit. I ain't killed nobody. Isn't it amazing how well people can lie? Okay. So, I'm just like, well, damn, who snitched on Fame? Because I know Kanan, even though Kanan is an ass, I didn't think that he did that, okay? Police, they take him down to the station, and, you know, they questioning him about this murder for Freddie and blop-de-blop-de-blue. And, you know, Fame is still denying that he was involved and everything. Found out that the mom is the one that turned in the gun that Fame had. And that is the gun that killed the guy. First of all, Fame, why do you still have the gun? Why? Okay, but she turns the gun in and she was just like, because I was afraid, I didn't know what happened. And he was just like, Mom, why would you? I was just like, what the fuck? Even if you are worried, it seems like you would have went to him, tried to figure out what it was and got rid of that fucking gun. Okay, like, that's your child. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be an accomplice to murder, but nigga, I'm not trying to like send my child up the river for murder either. Oh, I know that's terrible to say, you guys. But it's just sort of like, you can have a conversation with Fame first. So anyway, when the police is out and they're waiting for, you know, he finally says he wants a lawyer. So now once that happens, you know, that stops everything. They tried to say the lawyer's just gonna make everything difficult, but no, where's the lawyer? So while they're waiting, Fame is talking to his mom, and he was like, Mom, why would you give him the gun? And she was just like, oh, because you said that you did something terrible. You know, he was like, I ain't killed nobody. even though he did. Okay, but I guess the more you say it, the more you believe it. And she was just like, oh, I don't know, you know. But I was just like, oh, Fame is probably gonna die in jail. So then the FBI comes in, and again, it's a one last shot of trying to see if Fame is gonna, you know, talk. And, you know, they were like, we kind of know how these things go sometimes, and sometimes self-protection is involved, and maybe, you know, you had to do what you had to do. You know, they're trying to try the old Jedi mind trick on Fame, and Fame is not falling for it. Okay, where the fuck is his lawyer? Now, jumping over to Kanan, we see him talking to Juke, and they're cool now, you know. She had an attitude with him the last time that she saw him, but she tells him that she's going to the army, and he's just sort of like, really, Juke? Is that what you doing? He don't really want her to go. And he was like, and I want you to know I didn't have nothing to do with what happened to Rock. Okay, he's still pissed at his mom and everything, but he ain't trying to kill her. Juke was like, listen, you and your mom, you need to get it together. Your mom loved you more than anybody else on this earth. And, you know, he was just like, I can't tell. Anyway, Kanan is being Kanan as usual. And then all of a sudden a van pulls up and they kidnap him. All right. And Juke is right there, but she can't do anything because they got their guns and everything. So they take Kanan off into the van, and they're gone. So Juke takes off running, I'm presuming, to go tell Rock and her dad. Now Rock is at home, and before Marvin and Juke get there, Creepy Daddy get there. Okay, after he leave the mosque, he take it on over to Rock. I guess he got his answers from Allah. And he tells Rock, listen, Rock, the jig is up. We have to give up Marvin. Marvin's gonna have to take the fall for everybody. Okay, the only way that you stay clean, I stay clean, and Kanan stay clean is that Marvin gotta take the fall. I just told y'all, family over everything, right? Like, Rock is like, we not doing that. And you know Rock's mind is busy at play trying to figure out how she gonna get herself out of this, but no, not at the expense of her older brother. So Creepy Daddy was just like, look, I took the fall many times. I got many bodies on me for you guys, many bodies for your family. He was trying to help Rock out. Now he regret all of that. And Rock was like, here go another nigga trying to blame me for everything that they decided to do. We was all in the same boat, nigga. We all was in trouble. We all was trying to figure it out. All of a sudden, you did everything for us. So he's all like, you gotta fix this. She was just like, niggas always want to tell me that I gotta fix everything, nigga. She was like, how am I the fucking problem and the solution at the same goddamn time? I said, that's right. Like, what y'all want out of this woman? Okay, so while her and Creepy Daddy having a conversation, then here come Juke and Marvin. They bust in, and at first they not sure if they ought to speak in front of Creepy Daddy. I mean, he is 5'0". They just don't know that he dirty 5'0". And as of now, he ain't 5'0" at all because he had to give up his shield and his damn gun. But Rock was just like, he fine. What happened? So they tell him that Kanan got kidnapped, and we think it's you know, that Ronnie was the one that did it. Oh no, not her baby, not Kanan. And we know it was Ronnie. What the fuck does this nigga want? And Rock was just like, he won everything. So now they all get in the car and drive to Snaps and Pops. I was actually surprised that they even let Creepy Daddy come into that meeting. They was like, what 5-0 doing here? And you know, Rock was just like, just in case niggas get a little froggish in here. And so they want to know where Kanan at. And they was like, we have no idea where the hell Kanan is. All right, we ain't got shit to do with whatever Ronnie and Kanan got going on over there. You know, Creepy Daddy say, listen, y'all gonna be funny like this, funny acting and everything. I'm friendly until I'm not. All right, and the fact that I'm a cop standing here, you ought to know that I do quite a bit of dirt. So what's the damn problem? What Ronnie want? What he want is money, Snap and Pop say. And I was just like, what money? I was confused a little bit on the money that Ronnie feels that he should be getting. Why does he feel like... I'm not sure. I guess it's because she killed the Colombian lady, because that was confusing to me. So maybe one of you guys can explain that. But anyway, they was like, well, what the nigga want? And Snaps was just like,
he want 5.
And I was like, 5 what? Nigga, $5? 5,000? 5 million? Okay, 500,000. I mean, what can they say? Shit is expensive, you know. So anyway, when Marvin and Rock leave, you know, Marvin was like, you got that kind of money stashed around? And she was just like, fuck no, I especially don't, because she ain't even been working. Nothing that she can get to right away. She was like, but she might have an idea. Okay. So next we see Rock taking on down to Big Fish's house, all right? To what do I owe this pleasure in the middle of the night, all right? And she's with Marvin. She had to let Creepy Daddy go. Couldn't take him to Big Fish house. Okay, that's doing a little too much. But her and Marvin go down there, and Big Fish was like, well, okay, you know, I'll go on to meet you. And, you know, he got a little crush on Rock anyway. All right, you know they all do. Anyway, she was just like, listen, I need some money. Okay, I need you to front me $500,000. And he was like, that's a whole lot of money. And she was like, I know it is. All right, I wouldn't be asking for it if I didn't really, really need it. All right, and he's looking at Rock, and I think he's realizing that he can trust Rock. I mean, he's been knowing that this whole time, okay? But he looked at her, and he was just like, all right, he gonna give her the money, but you know, the payback, you're gonna have to, it's gonna be a little bit extra. And Rock is aware of that. She can't even think about that right now. Her son has been kidnapped. So yeah, Big Fish give her the money. He was like, I hope your son know how much you love him. And I was like, he has no idea. So the money, so the money is gonna be delivered in an hour. Fine. So they go back, and now they're gonna go take this money to Ronnie. Okay, and I'm just like, okay, so what exactly is about to happen here? Because I already got a few scenarios playing off in my head, right? They go back, they get Creepy Daddy, they go to Ronnie's, and I was just like, oh, okay, I guess everybody realizes that, you know, Creepy Daddy is a dirty cop or whatever, so everybody's cool with it. They get pat down, you know, they go in there. Marvin stay out with Ronnie's people, and then Creepy Daddy and Rock go inside, right? Ron, he look over and he was just like, oh, you bought a cop? And you know, he look at Creepy Daddy, oh, like, old scandalous ass nigga up in here. Give me my son, okay? Give me my damn son now. Then all of a sudden, here come Kanan. He walk out all tough, and he was just like, what's up, Mom? Okay, we tricked you. Ain't nobody kidnapped me. Stupid. Y'all been played. I said, Kanan, nigga, listen. Nigga, this better be a fucking act. Okay? This better be a way for you to get the money, you to get out, your mama to get out alive, and Ronnie to be dead. Okay? Don't play with us today. We ain't got the fucking time. So Rock is not really sure either. So she was just like, Kanan, it's a lot to this. You don't even really know what you're doing. Like, you need to get out of this. And Kanan was like, yes, I do. Okay, so throw the money over here. So they throw the money to Kanan. Once Ronnie checks through the bag and everything, and he was just like, it's all there. You know, we rich, nigga. And as soon as he say that, Kanan pull out his gun and he shoot Ronnie in the head. Pow! Okay? He look at his mom like, bitch, I mean business. I don't need that nigga. Kanan thought he did something. Rock was like, I'm gonna see your murder and I'm gonna double it. She pull out her gun and she shoot Creepy Daddy in the head. Bow! Kills him right there. I was like, oh, damn. I mean, I was not expecting her to do that. But I was just like, what? Creepy Daddy, she didn't have no choice. Creepy Daddy wanted Marvin to go down, and really there was no other way. Creepy Daddy had to take the fall, okay? So the ultimate fall is on the ground bleeding out. Kanan is just sitting there shocked, like he couldn't believe it. Rock just look at him like, yeah, nigga. Like, did you really kill my father? Yeah, nigga, it had to be done. All right? Like we said, you don't know everything that's going on here. All right? But Rock do. Now, come on, we got to get out of here. Get that money. Kanan get the money and shit. He all shook up. He still don't know what to do with his life, okay? And they run out. And then, honey, the camera goes back into the scene of the crime. And we see Creepy Daddy on the floor. We see Ronnie on the floor. And then we see some feet right next to Ronnie's head. Okay? And that camera panned up real slowly. And you already knew. As soon as you saw them feet, you already knew, bitch. That shit went up his body slowly. And when it got up to them, and honey, it was Unique with his hoodie on. And he was just looking down at his brother like, damn, yeah, this shit had to end like this, nigga. I was trying to help you. And all I could do was just like, Unique? Where the Beyonce song at? Let me tell you something. Unique has had the last scene. He's stolen the last scene of the last 2 seasons, you guys. That fucking ending was everything. Because, you know, I had told you guys a couple of episodes back that I was starting to feel like Unique wasn't dead because they had really stopped talking about him. And when they do that, that's usually because they're trying to get him out of our mind so that when the surprise comes, you know, it is really a surprise, and it was a shock. But we kind of felt like it was coming, but we just didn't know when. And child, I just was like, yes, yes, so fucking good. I'm telling you, I love when a story comes together, and that's what I was saying about at the beginning of the review. Is Kanan is a slow burn. You have to be patient, and you have to just be willing to sit and let the drama unfold. It's not spectacular and fantastic and fast paced and just everything happening like Power, like Ghost, and even Tommy's show. Raising Kanan is different, and I like it and hate it for the same reasons. But yeah, well done, well acted. The people on this show, even the Kanan kid, is doing much better. The just Patina, Juke, Marvin, Lou, oh my god, Lou just clinched it. And that's what I was saying. It's too bad that 50 Cent shows don't get like award recognition, because, and it doesn't really matter because his shows are still popular and everything, but it still would be nice to see these people get rewarded for such a great job when it's really warranted like this. This episode was great. Okay, and it made me love the whole rest of the season. You guys know, I mean, I didn't hate the season, but it was just sort of like, okay, when is it, you know, what's gonna happen? Like, when is it gonna happen? But yeah, this good stuff. Loved it. You guys tell me what you thought about it. Leave all that below. All right, you guys, let me get on off of here. My anxiety, if you can't tell, is through the roof. Returning to work, even though I'm home today, it has been very, I think I've been anxious all weekend, and I've been trying to get it handled. Okay. Yeah, just an adjustment. So that, we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, you guys, let me get off of here so I can do DC, Love and Marriage. Anyway, you guys, make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm Roxanne. The channel is It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.